With us here on Trading Hour, look at the market go. I mean, 65 points now, and this is now turning out to be another pretty strong, very, very strong day. So, I mean, this requires us to pay maybe 2 minutes worth of attention to what's happening. I mean, what's moved in the last 5 minutes, what's moved in the last 1 hour. If you can put those graphics up, I mean, it'll help explain the surge we are seeing as we stand right now. I mean, actually at 11 when we started, I think the Nifty had 30 points. It's now 66 points now. So it's the gains have more than doubled. The top of the list is Ultratech and Grasim. Both are up almost 5%. I mean, I highlighted Yes Bank. It's not done much after from 11, but it's up 4% plus. So it's a pretty solid gain. UPL is up 2%. I'm just looking for the big ones. I mean, Reliance was just under 2% higher by close yesterday. RIL is up 1.4%. And L&T is up about 1%. ITC is up 1%. HDFC Bank is up about 3/4. And you got IndusInd Bank, which is up about 0.8% as well. So, yeah, this is the heavyweight part of the market. Kotak, HDFC Limited are the other 0.5% plus kind of gains that we've got at this point in time. I think out of the 50 names, we got about 15 names lower and the rest 35 which are higher. And the only meaningful loser is Bharti Infratel, which we highlighted with Rima just a while back. But I mean, it's a solid looking screen and the gains have started to pick up pace only in the last 15 odd minutes or so. Okay, we'll come back to the market with more opinion in a bit. But Vodafone Idea is another name that we want to highlight. It's under pressure. The 25,000 crore rights issuance closed yesterday. It's been oversubscribed, and we understand from sources that the issue was oversubscribed with a total demand of 26,900 crores, where the promoters have committed 18,250 crores. We also understand that the retail portion has been fully subscribed, while the institutional portion has been oversubscribed. Nisha Podar caught up with Raj Balakrishnan from Bank of America Merrill Lynch, who ran this rights issue. Here is a slice of that conversation.
The rights issue, including the amounts received through the ASBA route, which are reflected on the stock exchange website, and amounts received through non-ASBA paper applications, based on the preliminary data, it suggests that the issue has been fully subscribed.
All right. Talking about Axiata, which is a large investor in Vodafone Idea with 8% stake, there were concerns about Axiata not participating in the rights issue and renouncing its rights. So has that been fully subscribed so that the promoters don't have to commit more than required?
So based on the data in the BSE, there's been a large volume of rights renunciations trading, which is more than the amount which Axiata needed to renounce. So yes, based on that data, I do believe it has been taken up fully.
What we have gathered from reports and sources do suggest that some of the high-quality foreign investors, like Franklin Templeton, is already invested but has committed more than its own rights and probably has also put in money for the renounced shares of Axiata. And some of the other investors have also come in, like eSpring Capital and others. So what do you think has been the mindset of the foreign institutional investors in showing interest in Vodafone Idea? Is it the attractive price, or they have a different view on the telecom sector?
So I wouldn't get into specific names of investors who've come in. That would not be appropriate. But I think broadly what we found is that investors like the story. They believe that the Indian telecom sector has enormous growth potential. It's a consolidated sector where you have 3 sustainable long-term players in the market, and therefore it offers significant opportunities for value creation in the future. And on Vodafone Idea itself, I think people like the fact that the integration is going well. There's a strong synergy story here, which should deliver returns for shareholders over time.
From the ECM perspective, the equity capital market perspective, it has been quite buoyant ahead of the elections, which is unheard of because caution sets in generally. But still, the markets have been volatile. How do you see the pipeline for equity transactions in this near term? And is there enough appetite and absorption skill in the market if the papers make it?
Yes, there has been. So we ourselves, as you know, have done a couple of large deals. We did the OFS for HDFC Life. We did the Embassy Blackstone REIT offering. This deal itself is closed yesterday.
Yes.
And there are a number of deals in the pipeline. So from that perspective, I do think there is strong investor appetite for Indian paper.
Okay, so that's the word coming in from Bank of America Merrill Lynch, which really ran the Vodafone Idea rights issue. We have picked up pace for the market, so good time to get a technical check-in. We have Mitesh Thakkar joining in to discuss that. Mitesh, hi, over to you. Well, it seems as though there is, we're just about 5 points away from 11,780 on the Nifty at this point in time, or 11,800 rather. So tell us, what are you recommending in terms of stocks, in terms of strategy, as well as the bank Nifty, which is picking up pace?
Yeah, so I think, the movement started yesterday, and the first index was possible to break a new high was Nifty IT. I think the Nifty itself is now on the verge of breaking to all-time highs. I like the bank Nifty chart as well. I think it's shaping up positively on the intraday basis and could retest at least the earlier highs of 30,600, which obviously in turn will add some strength to the Nifty chart. Once Nifty starts getting past 11,800, good chance that 11,950, 12,000 could happen over the course of next few days.
Okay, what would your stock recommendations be?
Yeah, coming to them, I have a buy on UPL. Take a very tight stop at 958. Look for trading rallies to about 995 levels, and Dr. Reddy's. That's a buy with a stop below 2858 for targets of 2975.
Mitesh, you have a trade on Yes Bank?
Not really, Prashant. I think while I do like the banking lot and I think the stock might head towards 260, 270 zone, I think if I was to compare, the better charts would be ICICI Bank. Buy with a stop below 395 here. I think 420, 425 is something which I've been looking for the stock to hit for quite some time. I think this move can see ICICI Bank do that.
PSU banks, Mitesh, I've heard from more than one technical analyst that maybe this is the space to watch for the next 3-6 months. Names like Oriental Bank of Commerce, etc. Is there anything happening there?
I absolutely love the long-term charts, but in the short term, if I was to go into trading, that will be State Bank of India. But if I was to look at, possibly accumulating stocks, OBC, PNB, State Bank of India, all will fall my radar. With I think you can add Bank of India and Union Bank to that list. I think yes, they are showing very good patterns on the longer-term basis, but they've kind of gone into a correction in the last few weeks, last few days, which I'm not sure is over as yet. So there could be mild volatility over here, but very good levels to accumulate slowly. I think eventually in the next 3 to 6 months, I do expect them to trade with gains of 30 to 40% from current levels.
Okay, all right, Mitesh, we're going to leave it on that note. Thanks very much for joining in and speaking with us. That is the Syngene management. Good set of numbers. Let's cut across.
To 555 crore, growth came in at 30%. Looking at margins, EBITDA for the quarter was up 24% to 181 crore, and while PAT, profit after tax, was up 19% to touch the 100 crore rupee mark for the same period. Margin performance for the quarter was in line with our expectations, with PAT margins at 18%. That's 200 basis points lower than last year, and this reflects the continued investments we're making in business development, as well as improving operational efficiencies, and we see these as important enablers of future growth. During the quarter, we entered into a collaboration with the Government of India's Biotechnology Industry Research Assistance Council, or BIRAC, to set up a Centre for Advanced Protein Studies at our campus here in Bangalore. The CAPS facility aims to support biotech startups by providing them with access to world-class GLP certified facilities at discounted rates. And this really does have the potential to play an important, significant role in boosting the development of the biotechnology industry here in India. During the quarter also, we appointed Dr. Kenneth Barr as Senior Vice President Discovery Services. Kenneth brings with him over 2 decades of experience in drug discovery of small molecules and will be responsible for bringing together Syngene's discovery services to deliver integrated programs on behalf of our clients. So let me now turn to our full year FY19 performance and also recap some of the highlights of the year. Now, as I just mentioned, Q4 was an excellent quarter and together with the achievements of the earlier quarters, helped close FY19 on a very strong note. Full year reported revenue came in at 1,901 crore, that's 28% higher than FY18. Reported EBITDA was up 16% to 612 crore, and PAT was up 9% at 332 crore. During the year, we continued to invest in the business, strengthening the leadership team, expanding our business development activities, as well as making further improvements in our quality and compliance systems. Our active client roster grew to 331 active clients. That's adding 15 new client relationships during the year. And alongside this, we also continue to expand the scope of engagement we have with many of our existing clients.
Okay, so first time that Syngene has managed to report 500 crores in terms of quarterly revenues as well as 100 crores in terms of profit. So good going for Syngene. That stock is up around 2%. And Biocon, remember, which will be integrating these numbers within their portfolio, will also be releasing numbers this evening. So Biocon should also come up for you. But the other stock which is in focus today is SpiceJet. In an exclusive conversation with CNBC-TV18 earlier this morning, Chairman Ajay Singh confirmed that the airline will introduce business class services soon. He also spoke about inducting grounded Jet Airway planes in its fleet. Sonia is here with key takeaways from that conversation. Sonia.
Well, thanks for that. I think the most interesting part from a consumer angle is the launch of the business class services, right? Let's see how that plays out. It'll mean a change in the cost structure for the company, whether they'll be able to manage or not. All airlines that have had business class services in the past have failed to do well. So let's see how it shapes up for SpiceJet. But having said that, the key takeaways from the interview, one is that they will induct 40 aircrafts from Jet Airways. Two, they will take over 1,000 employees, including pilot and cabin crew. They've also said that they will not have any financial engagement in the bidding process of Jet Airways, because Jet Airways is too big an airline to be funded by, or to be taken over by SpiceJet. SpiceJet is too small to fulfill the financial liabilities that Jet Airways had. To that question, he said that the overall liabilities are not just 8,000 crores that Jet owes to banks, but there's 14,000 crores of vendor liabilities as well, a total of which makes it to 25,000 crores of overall liabilities that Jet has. So the situation is much more grim than what the street knows. Apart from that, he did say that they expect to continue collaborating with leading airlines like Emirates. Now, the important bit is that they will be launching business class services formally from the 7th of May. Starting tomorrow, though, they will experiment with business class services, because starting tomorrow, the first batch of the 5 X-Jet 737s will join their fleet, and all of these X-Jet planes have business class seats. So they will kickstart, they will experiment with business class tomorrow, but formally they will begin it on the 7th of May. Let's listen in fact to
this time we have signed LOIs for about 28 jet aircraft, and we are starting to induct those aircraft tomorrow. We are in discussions to try and induct another 15 odd jet aircraft. So it should be close to 40 aircraft in all. We are actually taking a significant number of people from Jet, both pilots and cabin crew. They're excellent professionals, and we are very happy to have them on board. At this time, we've recruited about 1,000 of Jet staff. The big deterrents right now are the liabilities that Jet has accrued over this time frame, and in our opinion, those liabilities are close to 25,000, perhaps even in excess of 25,000 crores. So it needs very, very deep pockets for somebody to get in there and try and revive that airline. SpiceJet was too small an airline to actually attempt such a thing. SpiceJet is not, proposing to sell any stake at this point of time, but we are very pleased that a leading global airline like Emirates should choose first to collaborate with SpiceJet in India. Jet was the largest provider of business class seats in the country, and we will definitely try and experiment. Given the fact that we have the seats and we have these aircraft, we will sell a business class product starting from the 7th of May.